Hello everybody, I'm Tom Vessel.
And I'm Ruby.
And today we're taking a look at a game called I Heart Manatees. I think it's called I Heart. It might be I Love. I don't know. There's a heart there. There's no word love. Manatees are an okay animal.
He's wrong.
Manatees are in the top 10.
Yes.
They're your favorite animal.
Yes.
Which is convenient for us since we live in South Florida. And I've never seen a manatee in the wild, but we can see them at SeaWorld and other places. Have you ever seen one in the wild?
No.
I thought we saw one in the canal one time.
No, I probably wasn't there.
Okay. Anywho, in this game, you are making a manatee preserve, or a habitat for manatees. While, as all good people who make manatee preserves do, sending a shark into other people's habitats.
So that they can't send out the manatees.
All right, here's how the game plays. In this game, each player is going to build their own habitat. They're going to have a tile that they start in front of them with a plastic manatee head peeping out of the water. You're going to have some random tiles here on the board, and on a player's turn, they are going to pick one of the tiles that's closest to the beach to them. So I might take this tile for my first one, and then the next player would have a choice between this tile, this tile, this tile, or this tile. And when a column is empty, you'll refill it. When you add tiles to your habitat, you add them so the sides match. So this is empty, ocean to ocean. If I added this one, it would have to go like this, maybe. And then this one I could add here because, again, you can see I'm completing the different sides. After you add the manatee, the tile, to your board, you then take the action according to the column that you pulled it from. This column is going to give you more manatees. You just simply take one manatee and put it on your start tile in front of you. You will get an extra manatee for every complete square that matches that symbol that's in your habitat already. This one lets you move a manatee, so you can take a manatee and move them through the water to an open spot. They can't move through other manatees, and if the shark is on your board, they can't move through the shark. Each completed square of water you have lets you move an extra manatee. Let's quick talk about the shark. When you take the shark, you can put the shark on an empty spot on someone else's board, and then you do whatever the shark die says. This one says take one of their manatees from their starting spot. These give you an extra tile from the corresponding row. You then re-roll the die, and then that die is here. The shark doesn't really do anything. It just stops you from moving a manatee. So this spot is good for a manatee. So maybe if I put the shark there, you can't move it there. And then finally, this row lets you take a photo card. So photo cards, some of them score points at the end of the game. Like these two give you 1 point for each of those symbols that you have at the end of the game. This one gives you 1 point if you have two manatees. Immediately gives you 1 point if you have two manatees that are next to each other like that. This one gives you 3 points if you have a manatee next to 3 feeding areas. So players will take these actions and they will refill the different columns. The game ends when someone takes their 5th photo card or when all the manatees have been taken from the supply. You'll start with a certain amount depending on the number of players. At that point, you'll score all your cards, and each manatee is going to score points for each food area that they're next to that's complete. So this manatee scores 2 points. This manatee also scores 2 points. Whoever has the most points is the winner. All right, so what did you think about how the game plays? You take the tile, you do the action.
I thought that was like a fairly unique mechanism. I mean, I thought it was good, but I don't think I've ever really seen something like that in a game before. So that's props to this game, I guess.
Sure, I mean, because you're deciding what tile do I want, but also what action do I want. So there's 4 different actions. One of them is sending the shark. Sometimes, it's not always sending the shark, but
or getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's, to me, it feels more like, I'm sorry, I'm putting the shark in your area. But what did you think about that? Do you like that sort of thing in games?
Do you mean, do I like sabotaging teammates?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Not teammates, opponents.
Right.
Sabotaging your teammates is a much worse thing.
Sorry.
But it's not really that bad.
It isn't. It's just a blockade.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can take one of their manatees.
But, oh, yeah, that too.
they can get it right back easily. I don't know. I didn't find that it never felt too bad.
Like, sometimes someone would just keep it for several rounds because they just didn't really care about it.
Sure, the shark's in your area, but the shark does block movement, and that's something that people who play for the first time might not realize how important it is to move your manatees in this game.
Yeah.
So then the biggest part of the game really is, besides getting more manatees and moving your manatees, is the scoring cards. What did you think of them?
Oh, they were fine. I like the regular ones where it's like, oh, move your manatees in a certain position, the end of game ones. Those are great. And it never really feels like, no matter what card you took, you need to get the end of game ones right at the beginning of the game, because if you don't, unless you already have a ton of them, those things are kind of pointless at the end of the game.
Sure. Some of them are easier to do than others.
Yeah.
And then, of course, your bonuses stack up. What did you think of the manatee pieces?
Oh, they're cute. And,
they're just the heads of the manatee peeking up like, "Arr." Do manatees eat? What do they eat? I don't even know. Seaweed, I guess?
I think so.
Oh, you should know. They're your favorite animal. You should know everything about manatees.
I did one report on them in 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
Or 5th grade.
Well, anyhow, this is a very simple game, easy to play, but not bereft of strategy. There is strategy in the game. You're building a little habitat. I like the idea of making combos and doing things. It plays pretty quickly. I think like half an hour. It says 30 to 45 minutes.
It's easy to teach.
Yeah.
Because there isn't really any complex mechanisms that people won't understand easily. It's just like, get as many points as possible, move your manatees, put them next to seaweed.
My son is not yet in reviews in the Dice Tower, but he loves this game. He thinks it's fantastic because he gets the strategy of doing different things, and each time you can play differently a little bit. Do you want to put manatees in patterns, or do you want to collect diamonds of different types? And there's that little bit of take that, but not particularly too much. What would you give it?
I'd say an 8. I really like this game. It's super replayable. I definitely want to play it again.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm giving it a 7.5. It's a nice, welcoming style game that you could easily, I would have this at Target and stores like that. But if someone wasn't someone who played a lot of games, they could still understand this pretty easily. The biggest concept is take the tile, and that is the action you get above it, which you might be surprised many people seem to struggle with that concept, at least the first couple times.
Especially.
But anyway, that's I Heart Manatees. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Ruby.
We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. And you can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you, and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.